Hopefully the rest of the time.
You're welcome. Yep, you go all the way down and over.
Exercise facility. We do AAU basketball, volleyball, our youth ministry. It's a community building, really. It's to serve the community.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe I can come get in the game or something.
But I think part of it also is intergenerational, isn't there? Like an
seniors.
Yeah, if you got some old guys playing basketball, maybe I'll come back.
Right.
I don't want to play with the kids.
Yeah, we have a lot of programs for seniors, exercise and educational classes for them. We do classes, so it's a lot of stuff like that.
That's beautiful.
Governor, we have our pharmacy set up behind this wall, and what happens at this point, our navigators will pick up the patient and direct them to a vaccinator. So why don't we go ahead and show the governor what happens with a...
And in the pharmacy, are they drawing the doses in there? Then you're running them?
They're running them, and we transport the vaccine from the hospital every day. And so, and they're back there
filling them up.
Yeah.
Are they getting those extra doses up? Are they doing a good job?
Right. Is this off the record?
No, there's all these TV cameras here. Nothing's off the record.
The pharmacy is behind this wall, right? There's a full pharmacy. But, we won't walk through there, but it's obviously a secure area.
Yeah, sure.
Locked, and then
We don't want to have all these guys following us in a secure area.
No,
They'll be knocking over vials and stuff.
Where's our navigator? How you go? Okay. You want to just show the governor what happens with your job?
Boom.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Yes, we have our clients who will come in here, and I have already, excuse me, to your left, I've already set them in a chair. A white flag will go up, and the nurse will then shoot them their medication.
The white flag goes up when they get in the chair, so you know somebody's ready to get the shot?
We know they're ready to get the shot.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And there's a pink flag on the table that tells us that they have no vaccine. And so we know don't send them to that table.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty organized.
Yes, sir. Pastor Billy is right back here.
Yes, we're not doing anything.
I'm sure you're anxious to get a full church at some point. We get more people vaccinated, we'll get to that point. Yeah.
Governor, I know Madam County Executive knows this, but the response from the congregation has been immense. Based on a call from Pastor Jenkins, some 900 volunteers to this effort stepped up, including quite a number of licensed individuals. I think something like 75. So we really are grateful.
Thank you for the partnership, and I know when Pastor Jenkins speaks, a lot of people listen. So when you tell people they need to step up and help the community, it doesn't surprise me that many people did. It's wonderful. And so you had a lot of people in the church that had medical skills.
And this, and the reason they listen to Pastor Jenkins is because this is not the only time they're involved.
Right.
They're involved in
always
everything in this community. Supporting all the schools in the area. They're 132 minutes. 145. We've adopted
All right, give it here. I'll stick it in.
Did he
Are
get-
you not
oh,
scared, are you?
Oh, he's getting it now.
Nah, it's not. You know, if you cry a little bit, all these people are gonna know. You gotta act tough, okay?
Governor with the launch today, Pastor invited quite a number of pastors. So this is how we generate influencers. In the
No, that's
community.
critically important. Thank you for being an influencer and getting
Yes,
out
sir.
there helping other people.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure
Yes,
it
sir.
makes a big difference. There's,
It does.
you know, a lot of folks in every community are a little bit, you know, sometimes just concerned about the efficacy of the vaccine and having people they trust,
Yes, sir.
you know, telling them why it's important. I think it's critically important. I see, you know, the county executive did a great television commercial for that reason, and we have a, you know, really active effort trying to get more people. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Whatever you do, don't cry. Don't say nothing. Don't cry.
Whatever I do, don't cry. Don't cry. Just look at you.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at you. Hold my hand. 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 Is she done yet? I love you, Paul. Good to see you. How you feel?
All the vaccines.
Feeling great?
Not just
Good.
broken down by race, but all vaccines. 67%.
I love you, Pop.
35%.
I love you too, brother.
Men are sensitive. Women want to make sure that they're healthy. Always stay outside. They're like, I don't need that.
We gotta push the men anyway to take care of themselves.
Yeah,
You know,
right, yeah,
Where
right.
healthcare is concerned,
Exactly,
yeah, they're
exactly.
more likely to say, you know what, I can take it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Different times, so it's 15 or 30. We give it to them to the next section, and then they're seated for their podcast.
And our health department and the National Guard, especially Pastor Jenkins. It makes a difference. I've heard a number of people say, you know, my pastor, I felt like I'm... Yeah, you gotta get time. I don't want to hold you up. You need the 15-minute time. Yeah, that's right. Did he flinch? Where did he go? I want to talk to him.
Right?
It's going to be worse. Yep, they're going to say, I don't need it. We're going down there.
If they are concerned about that, and we have to address some of the specific concerns that people have.
Yeah, that's
Have you been
something.
hearing this?
About what?
I've been hearing younger men saying about sterility.
Sterility, I've heard that. Yes, I've heard
That's
that.
a real concern. We have to
I've heard that.
address that.
We
We have
do.
to answer it. You know,
we
it's like
do.
it is.
Yes,
That's I
yes,
can understand
yes.
someone having
Yeah.
that concern.
Yes.
Yeah, we
You
gotta
hear a lot
answer that.
about women or pregnant women.
Yeah,
or,
I heard
you
more
know,
about pregnant
fertility,
women.
but
Pregnant
not
women.
with the
I've
men.
heard younger men saying to
Yes.
me recently, "I don't think so because I'm concerned that it will make me sterile."
We have that issue. We run that with our workforce, our nursing staff. it's a question of concern.
Well, now she's talking about what men are saying.
Yeah.
I've heard from a number of younger men who said they're concerned about sterility.
Yeah. So again, I think part of that is again history and having a conversation of getting.
That's very true.
But when I heard that, it struck me. I thought, oh, we got to answer that. We got to. It's real. You know?
That's very true.
Where that conversation starts.
Yeah.
That should be a public conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something to add into the mix. You know,
Before we head into the briefing room, one thing we've done here is simply go on the way out rather than picking up time.
That's a smart idea.
English
Otherwise,
and
everybody's bunched up here.
Exactly.
So after they wait for their 15, 30 minutes, before they leave,
they get it right here. Right. So we've got this set up, and then they just exit straight out here. So that's the workflow.
Yeah.
That's the workflow, and
very good.
Yeah, I think there are a number of contributing factors that I think we can address with purposeful conversation. And getting some.
It just came up because a lot of the discussion was on equity and about distributing, but we never really talked about it.
Thank you.
okay. We're heading straight into media needs to tune off.
I want to come back like on a Sunday or something when it's humming.
It will be packed. It will be packed there.
Give us a week. We're going to get it
It's beautiful. It seems like very well organized. It's a terrific team effort, and I would like to come back. I was at M&T, like the pre-launch, and it was at Six Flags at the pre-launch. I want to come back when they're at full capacity and watch these machines run when we get all that supply ramped up and everybody gets scheduled. That's going to be a beautiful thing.
And the openness of this space is ideal.
I love this place.
Ideal.
Jenkins deserves all this credit because he had this commitment before anybody else was even in the conversation. He went to the leaders at Capital Region and said, we're going to do this, right? We have the ability. Thanks to your advocacy and support, now you can see the scale. And the truth is, this can be scaled. It can the flow.
1,000 per day, right?
Yeah, the flow through here is amazing. Thanks to the support.
That's 1,000 per day, 8 to 5.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we extend
If we
beyond
get more
that,
volume, you can
and
do
on
more.
weekend, we could do even more.
We got some good positive news coming up on that too. We just had a call with the White House earlier before we got here about when we're going to start seeing increased supply, and it's still going to be a couple more weeks, but by the very end of the month, the 29th, we're going to start seeing some trucks roll in. So the month of April should be dramatically different, and the ability to ramp up all these things at higher levels.
That's so great. You can feel the optimism now. I feel like people can see now the kind of light at the end of the tunnel, the hope. You can start feeling. I feel
Just
a little
starting
excitement.
to. People are, and we've done nearly 2 million as of today, probably 2 million, or tomorrow, 2 million vaccines. All those people feel safer and more hopeful, and then they all know somebody who says, it's just starting to be.
Ambassadors of the message, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on.
You're good.
Thank you.
It's got to set up.
Welcome, Governor Hogan. Thank you for your presentation so much. Our county executive, Angela Oswald, welcome home. I also want to welcome Mohan Satha, President and CEO of UMMS, and Nate Richardson and Dr. Joseph Wright, all of whom are with the University of Maryland Medical Service. And to the other officers, guests, media, thank all of you for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to our new vaccination clinic, we're calling it for the moment, for the day. First Baptist Church of Glenarden is pleased to partner with the University of Maryland Capital Region Health to offer our 63,000 square foot building, Family Life Center, to help facilitate the community to provide the much needed COVID-19 vaccinations. Today we've invited local pastors to receive their vaccinations to help build trust in the community. We recognize the growing disparities that are in our communities that make it necessary for us to make this vaccination available to our community as easily and quickly as we can, and we're honored to be able to participate in that process. We want to look forward to reaching up to 1,000 vaccinations a day. We'll start off at 200 a day with 2 days a week, and we hope to quickly, within a couple of weeks, be able to racket it up to 1,000 doses each day, and maybe sooner, even after that, even more, is our hope and our prayers. Thank you again all for being here, and it's our honor and privilege to have everybody to come and be a part of us. Again, thank you, Governor, for coming. God bless you, sir.
Well, thank you, Pastor Jenkins. First of all, I want to thank you and the First Baptist Church of Glenarden for this incredible partnership. We're very happy to be here. It's really a wonderful example of a team effort. I want to thank not only the church, who really is responsible for making this happen, but also our partners with Prince George's County. I want to thank you, County Exec, Maryland Department of Health, Secretary Schrader, but General Janine Burkhead, who heads up our Equity Task Force, has been a big part of this as well, and our partners at the University of Maryland Medical System, particularly here in the Capital Region. We've got a number of representatives from both the Capital Region and from in general, and we want to thank all of them. They've been terrific partners in a number of our sites. I think this is just another step in the right direction. I think it's wonderful here today. Pastor Jenkins had a number of other pastors from the community getting kind of vaccinated today to be ambassadors to go out and help us with vaccine confidence. But I'm really anxious to see this thing fully operational as we get ramped up to full speed, and we're out here doing 1,000 additional people per day here in Prince George's County. I think it's going to be wonderful, and I'm just happy to be here, and I want to sincerely thank every single one of the people standing up here and all the teams that they represent, of a lot more people who've been involved in bringing this to a reality. It's just a very exciting day, so thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Nat Richardson, the President and CEO of the University of Maryland Capital Region Health. And I want to start by saying thank you to our County Executive, Asa Brooks, and our Governor for your partnership. When you put the minds of state and county and communities together and we work on a plan, this is the result of a plan, that we vaccinate our communities, which we are so trying hard to do on a day-to-day basis. And without your leadership, General Burkhead, and everyone that's involved, Dennis, we're on many calls together, and everyone is trying to figure this out. These are the leaders of our state and cities and counties that help us on a day-to-day basis, and I couldn't be more proud to serve on behalf of the University of Maryland Medical System Capital Region Health to be a partner in this initiative. So again, I want to thank you all for your leadership. I'm looking forward to the vaccinations in this community and really seeing our numbers with high vaccination numbers in Prince George's County. I'm proud to be a part of Prince George's County and to be a part of the solution in getting our citizens vaccinated. So again, thank you so much. We look forward to partnering with you, and get vaccinated, Prince George's.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I feel like saying let the church say amen, because this, if I just might go there, and Pastor Jenkins already let it out the bag, so I should tell you I'm so proud. This is my church home. It also happens to be our fire chief's home, and if she allows us to say, it's Tracy Wilkins' church home as well. So there are many of us who feel that we are at home, and we are just so grateful. First to the pastor of this church, John K. Jenkins, who always answers the call to do what is best for this community, who made this church such an integral part of our community. So it's very appropriate that we are here today. And then to this governor, thank you for hearing us. We have said we want to make sure that our mothers and grandmothers, grandfathers and fathers and uncles can be vaccinated and made safe as well. And we wanted to make sure that this vaccine was equitable, that we had access to it, and the governor heard us. And so we thank you so very much for hearing us, for Secretary Schrader, who worked so hard, and then all of the team at UMS, Dr. Santha, Dr. Wright. We just thank everyone for making today possible. And to say to Prince Georgians, help is on the way. We know that we've said from the very beginning that COVID-19 would not have the final say, and I think this vaccine is yet another way for us to get back to normalcy. But we know that we have a long way to go. This is a wonderful start. Believe it or not, we're still very much at the beginning of getting this vaccine out, and so we're going to need this safe space, this church, this spiritual center where people trust that they can get the truth. And so this location is a really important location. It is a place where the community feels comfortable, it is trusted. It's very different than going to a football field or going even to a grocery store parking lot. There's something different about walking into a church home, a space that is the spiritual center of our county. So we are really grateful for it and look forward to getting all of us protected and again allow us to go back to normal life. So thank you so much again, Mr. Governor, and to General Burkhead, who's also just worked so well with us. Thank you so very much as well, and we're just excited to get going.
I'd like to add and echo those comments. It's about accessibility, it's about the technology, it's about actually getting the shots in arms, and we're able to do that here and with great fanfare. And I just love what the task force is working with the county, with the state, and with our partners in UMS to make this happen. You know, when we ask, what is that equity task force is doing? What are they doing? Well, now you see it in practice. We are not without partners and without working with the community, and I think we have to stress that. It is not an equity task force that the governor directed to take over. It is an equity task force that is working with partners, meeting people where they are, understanding all those things that make this place a special place, the access, the listening to people where they're trusted voices and coming out. So I look forward to working with UMS, working with the state, working with the county to continue to do operations like this. As the county executive said, we're just ramping up, and the Equity Task Force stands ready to assist. Thank you.
Well, with that, I think we'd be happy to take a few questions. Tom.
Governor, obviously you've been able to open up more facilities. Could you quantify for us the difference now between the situation you faced initially? What's going on at the federal level? How are you communicating now? What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't able to do, not only with your federal partners, but because you now have greater supply?
Well, the supply is gradually increasing. We had a great call just before I came here. I just hung up from another call with the White House coronavirus team. We had some sort of not so great news and then some much better news. They said we're not going to see an increased supply for the next 2 weeks, but starting at the end of this month on the 29th going forward, we're going to see a fairly dramatic increase in the availability. This has been an issue of huge demand and not enough supply, but the difference from the beginning, we started out with a tiny supply that was only going to our nursing homes and to our hospitals. We now have nearly 2,500 different points of distribution. We went from a couple of hundred a day to we've hit over 50,000 a day. We have built an infrastructure that can handle a scale of twice that much. All we need is the vaccines, and the good news is that the month of April is going to look a whole lot different than the month of March. We've already, been going up at a pace like this every single day. Our average breaks the day before. We're one of the leaders in the country on our percentage of daily vaccinations, but we're able to do twice as much, and it looks like by the very end of this month, starting next month, that's going to change. We're going to take it to a whole nother level, and that's why we want to build all these infrastructures. That's why we're working through the Equity Task Force. That's why we have partners like UMS and working together with folks like Pastor Jenkins and teaming up with our county leaders to be ready to really do a whole lot more. I think in the next day or two, we're going to hit 2 million vaccines, but we got a lot more people to still vaccinate, so we just need that supply.
Talk about equity has been an issue because people in Prince George's feel like they've been competing with everybody else in the state to get to places like Six Flags or down to Waldorf. And you've carved out appointments now for all the local mass vac sites. How about this location? Will these appointments be carved out for Prince George's residents only? And why is that an important issue?
Well, that's a great question that maybe somebody else, maybe the general will address, but we are trying, maybe the county executive would be the one to handle that one. The general county executive.
Thank you. So the answer to that is yes. This site is exclusively for Prince Georgians. And that's part of what's so excited. As you know, we were expressing concern about the number of vaccine that was reserved for Prince Georgians, and we made a request to the governor that he would make this site available to us, and that he would also set aside appointments at Six Flags, and he honored both of those requests. And so this is an answer to that, and it is exclusive for Prince Georgians. And I want to make one other point about capacity. As the governor said, the issue really has been supply throughout. But Prince George's County, I'm also very proud to report, has gone from a place where we were at number 23 in terms of administering the vaccine. We're now at number 3. And we moved up from 23 to 3 in 2 weeks. And so the capacity is ever growing. This particular facility helps us to grow that capacity. This, in combination with the other 5 sites we have, plus Six Flags, setting aside vaccine there. So we're now very well positioned. Combined with our partners, UMS makes a beautiful partner to be able to get those vaccines in arms much faster. So that's why we're so excited.
Not to hog it, but how about Montgomery County? Is there a similar situation developing there like this one?
So as I announced last week, we're in discussions with a number of jurisdictions, a number of large counties about the potential for opening up additional mass vac sites. Those discussions are still ongoing. I just said, just an hour ago, we just started to hear a little more clarity on when we're going to see an increased supply. It's all based on supply. You can't open up giant mass vac sites that can handle 6,000 a day if you don't have any vaccines. That's the problem. You can't schedule appointments for vaccines that haven't been made yet. We just want to make sure that we're in line. I think after today, our team is going to continue to work with Montgomery County and a number of other large counties about the possibility, and I think we may have some further announcements about that next week as far as now that we have a better understanding of supply.
Councilwoman Nancy Navarro tweeted today that there is going to be a mass vac site opening in Germantown campus. I think the National Guard was looking at that last week.
Yeah,
is that going to be opening towards the end of the month? When do you expect to receive those vaccines?
Yeah, like I said, we're in discussions with 4 or 5 different counties. There has been no decision made. I think that was a little bit premature, but we're certainly working with them. We're going to make decisions by next week, and we'll let the counties and all of you know.
Governor, you kind of addressed this now, but can you speak to why Montgomery County has not had a mass vac site?
Well, we're doing them by region. We started with Prince George's County and Baltimore City, particularly for the issues we've all been talking about, equity, but also because they're large population centers. Montgomery County has more vaccines than any other jurisdiction. They're the highest population. They have the most vaccines. They have the most distribution centers, and they have the highest percentage of people being vaccinated. Having said that, most of our focus was we started out with 2 sites in Baltimore. We've been focused here in Prince George's. We now are this week opening the Eastern Shore Regional Site, and next week we open the Western Maryland Regional Site. But after that, we are in discussions with Montgomery County and a number of others, even though so far they're doing really well.
Governor, you said in the past you have concerns about hesitation in the African American community. What are the numbers telling you now about?
Well, first of all, I want to second what the county executive said. Prince George's County has really done an incredible job. Their health department and all of their partners stepping up, General Burkhead and the Equity Task Force, they have really, their production, their ability to get vaccines in arms has been dramatically improved. We're making huge improvements also in Baltimore City and making progress with lots of partners all across the state. And so, I think we're going to continue to make improvements in that regard. But, we still have an imbalance, and we want to make sure that everybody has access to the vaccine.
Quick question, Madam County Executive, please. Everyone knows this is recognized because it's probably police here. Is there any discussion of finding other places in the county for easier access for people who walk to, for example, where it's difficult to travel?
Okay, that's a great question. So one of the things we've done is to use mobile units. We currently have at least 3 mobile units that go out throughout the week to reach people who are difficult to reach, some who are bedridden, for example. So we have mobile units that have literally been going bedside, especially for some of our seniors who are immobile and some others who are not able to travel. So we'll be using those to press into some areas. Those will include some of our areas by zip code that we've noticed have low vaccine rates. We've seen, for example, that Suitland, Maryland is one of the areas where we're concerned. Bladensburg is another one of the areas. So we've been watching through data to see where the vaccines have been administered, and areas where we're concerned, we'll take those mobile units out to those areas. So we're taking the vaccine to them, not waiting for them to come to us, and that's the way we're going to reach many of the hard-to-reach areas. But we do have the 5 vaccination sites, and we have this site. So we're continuing as the supply becomes available to work with our partners. You know that Walmart became a site recently. We're also working with Wegmans, CVS, and so we're going to work with the pharmacies. So supply, as it ramps up, and as the governor has said, the president just told us by May 1st or toward the end of May, the supply hopefully won't be an issue anymore, and we can get it to as many sites as we need. I do want to just say, can I say in terms of hesitancy, one of the things we've seen is that our older residents are not hesitant at all. The 65 to 75, we've seen that by age, the hesitancy is not there for middle-aged and older. One of the things we're going to have to be really vigilant about is making sure that our younger residents, when the vaccine becomes available for them and when it comes to their age groups, that we're able to encourage some of our younger residents to get vaccinated. We're hearing anecdotally that the hesitancy will be among some of the younger ones who will be concerned about, who are of childbearing age, have expressed some concern, and so we're going to need to work with the medical community to get the information they need.
Can I just follow up with you on that? I want to zero in on this because there's been discussion about how we cover hesitancy. So where is that coming from? Is that social media? Is that fueled off of reports in the media?
Well,
where are you hearing hesitancy coming from?
No, we're not having hesitancy at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I don't want to mislead you. No, our data is telling us that we do not currently have an issue with hesitancy. We have 120,000 people on a waiting list, but what we're hearing anecdotally through social media and other, maybe this is what you're asking me, what we're hearing in the community as we talk to people, I'm beginning to hear from younger people who are asking questions about sterility, for example. I've heard from some younger men who are saying, will this make me sterile? I'm hearing also some from the medical community. I think maybe was it Mr. Richardson or Dr. Wright said some women, no, it was Dr. Santha, who said pregnant women or women of childbearing age may be concerned about the vaccine. So we're not having, hesitancy is not the issue now. It's been supply.
So is this misinformation that is a problem? That's
No.
circulating in social media. That's fueling the things that you're hearing.
No, these are just questions. This is all new to everyone. You know, this is the first time that all of us have had to deal with this, and so the questions are coming up, and we'll just answer people's questions and concerns as they arise, but not misinformation. The point is, no hesitancy now. People desperately want the vaccine. We're going to make sure that all who want it have it, and then because we believe it's important for everyone to be protected, whether they're hesitant or not. For any who have concerns, questions, we're going to continue to educate them. We'll continue to be patient to answer their questions so that they feel comfortable accepting the vaccine too.